Hey, Mommy.
Yes, Mimi.
So you know how in life there will be times where people will judge us or say rude things about us.
Right.
But there are also times where we will say rude things about ourselves and judge ourselves. And it kind of makes me think of a verse, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. And it says, "And we tear down every proud idea that raises itself against the knowledge of God. We also take capture of every thought and make it give up and obey God." So I wanted to ask you, what does that mean to you?
Great job. And that's a really good question. You know, you're absolutely right. Throughout life, unfortunately, we're going to encounter situations where people are going to say negative, hurtful things to us. We're going to encounter negative and hurtful situations, circumstances. And when those things happen, we internalize them like, what is wrong with us? Why did that happen to me? What did I do to deserve this? Right? And then the enemy starts planting them seeds of doubt, you know, making us just really tear ourselves down, you know. And so we have those situations, like you said, but then there are some, like you also mentioned, that we don't need no one else's help. Sometimes we will just tear ourselves down, say such negative, rude, harmful things to ourselves, especially if we're not where we think we should be, whether that's personally, professionally, academically, financially, you know, a whole plethora of areas of our life. If we're not where we think we should be or who we thought we would be at that particular place in our life, we will truly be hard on ourselves. And so it's so important not to do that. That's dangerous because that gives the enemy access that he should not have. And we know that he's the father of lies. And so the key to that is to remember who our identity is rooted in. Who our identity is rooted in, whose we are, right? And then when we take hold of that truth and speak that truth instead of the lies that the enemy really wants us to be bound by, then that truth will annihilate, it will quell, it will just shush anything that the enemy would want us to believe about ourselves that can't be true because we are children of the Most High God, you know? How about you?
Absolutely, I love that, and I definitely agree. I feel like it's one thing to hear other people say stuff about us, but it's a whole nother thing to hear ourselves say something about us, especially if it's hurtful. And I feel like that can have a significant impact on us.
Absolutely.
And I feel like a way that that can be, in a way, kind of fixed is something that you do, Bible verses. And I feel like having those Bible verses that ground us and are able to help us in times such as us being negative to ourselves or the enemy trying to be negative to ourselves, those can really help us take hold of our identity again and take hold of what we know and what God says about us and not what we say about us or the enemy says about us.
I love that.
Thank you. Just remember, don't let the enemy or negative thoughts make you forget who you really are. Have a blessed day and we'll see you next Monday.
Bye.